I'm Gary Busey, and I have taken over this transmission. Just screwing with you. How's it going? Welcome to another edition of the Lunch Table. Yes, I am hosting while Reina is on vacation, but she is joining us today, and I will bring her on before she fires me. And there is Lorena. Hi, how are you doing in sunny Florida?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Trying to stay cool amidst the hot weather and the throngs of tourists. But glad I could pop on. Glad I could
Yeah,
pop on. That intro was absolutely fire.
I hope so because it took me about an hour. Um, but but other than that, you just finished up a great stream doing the stores and a little bit of tour of the parks, and yeah, I'm kind of jelly.
Oh well, I know there's lots of cool Star Wars original trilogy merchandise that's tempting my wallet. But so glad I could just share that with folks. It's like if you can't be here in person, just live vicariously through me. So I'm glad folks enjoyed that, and going to be doing some more streams. Actually, doing one tomorrow from Universal Studios. So that's going to be great.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I can't wait to see that. But I want to get into it. We also snagged another man who is pretending to be Superboy right now.
Oh,
But he has a voice. He helps me in the comic book roundtable. I can see him shaking his head at me in the backstage. It's quite funny. He's still shaking his head at me at the backstage. I love this guy. He has a great voice.
he does.
He's very knowledgeable with the stories, scoring comics of the older back issues, even autographed ones for very good prices. And with that, I'm going to bring up 24/7 Fusion Media while he shakes his head at me.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Oh, and she'll be back. She's
Oh,
changing LTA. It's all good. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How's it going, bro?
It's going pretty good. It's another Friday. Thank God. I'm
Mm,
appreciating that you're here, and Lorena is back as she
there we
jumps
go.
Wi-Fi and LTE.
Sorry, I tipped my phone and it booted me out. Dang it!
Well,
That
thank
is
y'all for having
awesome.
me here.
Oh, no problem. No problem. No
Hell
problem.
yeah.
So, as to state the usual, we got a couple questions that usually goes on, but before we do that, I want to quickly point to the chat, and we've already seen a couple people here. We got Tim Possible, always with the hails,
Oh, what's up,
Kashyyyk
Tim?
Queen, the Muse, and the Rock for Ord Sports himself.
So,
6XXX has definitely gotten a lot more X's over the last little while. Hello, Jace. I do got this. I hope so, because otherwise I got nothing. And we got the Stream Elements bot always running and never was stopping. Polymese Minion. Hello, hello. And of course, Mad's Mama Bear showing some love. Hi.
hey, how you doing?
And 24's voice made Lorena's connection faint. That's probably a true fact at that point. Yeah.
Oh man,
And
thank you for
with
talking.
that, I don't know if I should ask this question or Lorena should, because technically it's her question. But
What's up?
um,
Go for it.
lunch. Oh, thank you. Okay, lunchtime at school. Was your pizza round or cardboard square?
Well, that depended.
Depending on what.
Well, you go through the a la carte line, right? You basically can get what you'd want, but you'd have to buy every little thing separately. And sometimes they had the personal pieces round that you pop in, like they have like little round DiGiorno's or something like that, just a little small little personal deal. You spend like $2.50 for $3, and they'll give you that. But if you couldn't afford that and you have to go into the line like everybody else and get the the regular cafeteria food and they serve pizza, then that's when you get the square one. If it was like a Friday and you was getting the pizza, then you'd get the square one. Right or wrong.
So I kind of won, and Lorena kind of won too, because usually I lose everything because it's always square pizza.
I mean,
Uh,
but and actually, if anybody is
Do we have a
had,
tie now?
yeah, I think so. We have a tie. He eats everything that's pizza, I guess. I do.
well, I mean, that's those are the two pieces, and that's what I would that's how I get down on that. That's
That's cool. And back to I kind of messed up the order because it's always weird when I'm doing this. But what were your first memories of lunchtime at school, and what did you usually do by then? What do you remember doing?
Yeah, you mean from when I was a little kid? Like,
Well, unless you still attend like high school lunch now.
nah,
I hope not.
you're funny, man. Nah, well, just hanging out with friends and eating and talking about, comic books or video games or hot chicks or some shit, something like that. But yeah,
all good.
but yeah, that's what. Oh shit! But yeah, that.
Don't worry, you lasted 7 minutes. It's all good. It's all good. You lasted 7 minutes. It's all good.
Hey, well, but yeah, that's what I. Yeah, but that's what I'd be doing at the lunch table at school.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Lorena, do you have any questions for the man himself as he just demonetized me? I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
No, I'm good. Sorry, part of it got clipped out as I went into the garage. So, can you repeat the question, please?
If you had any questions for 24/7 while you're on vacation, there's a delay.
Well, my big one is. It's like, how did you get involved in YouTube?
Well, actually, when YouTube first came out, just 12 years ago now, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. I never thought anything of it, didn't care for it or anything. And it wasn't until maybe 6 years ago that I started watching. People telling me that I can go watch music videos, all this stuff. So I started just watching stuff. And what got me to this point was that I started watching Ethan Van Sciver. So of course, love comic books, and that's when he had first started his channel, and he was actually doing. People would send in their drawings, their little portfolios, and he'd sit there and look through it and say, "Hey, you could work on this or do better on that." And then he'd do his, videos of going to like the art store, and for a person that didn't have a lot of money, hey, if you need good quality equipment to draw your comic books with, this is the best way to go. And he'd like point out all the best stuff, and I'd sit there and watch him. And then as I was watching him, then Geeks and Gamers, started rolling around. So it was basically with recommendations and everything else. While I was sitting there and watching Ethan, a lot of other channels were popping up, and I started watching them. And all of a sudden, that's when Ghostbusters 2016 dropped. And that's when that whole the Phantom Menace and different things, that between that and The Last Jedi, and stuff that was going on in between, that's when everything started rolling for the fandom, and I was there from the beginning. So I was sitting in the chats just watching, seeing it when Doomcock came up, watching Gary, watching Az. Man, I can tell you, man, a little story, a little funny. Remember the first time I seen Heels versus Babyface, right? Just the title alone. I remember looking at that, and I was so like intrigued by what it can be. I was thinking it was going to be someone trying to whoop a baby's ass, and I was like, what is this? So I turned it on, and all of a sudden I see Az, and I start watching, waiting to see like some real crazy stuff happening. He was just talking about things that we normally would talk about, what we like, what we don't like, things that are going wrong or bad. And I started realizing, like, man, there's a lot of more people like me that feel the way, we all feel about the things that we love that are being torn down and misrepresented. And all of a sudden, I started finding, F and everybody else. And it's like, boom, it just started spreading. And years later, and here we are. And like I said, I was supposed to have been on YouTube actually about 2 years ago, about 2 or 3 years before I actually started. I've been on for about a year and a half now. And I was supposed to have started about 2 years prior, but then, a lot of things happened and life took me in another direction. But I'm just glad that I was able to come back around and finally turn on the camera and figure some things out and, and speak up and get a chance to meet all y'all. And I've met a lot of wonderful people, great people. And, like in basically what I was saying yesterday, was that, with the fandom and, everything that we've been seeing, when it comes to a relationship, you always got to accept, if you love something, you got to accept the bad with the good. And the thing is, it's like people want to love something when it's good. And then when something bad happens, people just want to hurry up and quickly separate themselves. And then when things get better again, then they show back up. And there's a term for that, and it's called the good day love. And that's a person that'll love you all day long when things are good and then dip out on you the moment when things are bad. But then when things are good again, hey, I'm back.
They show up again. So it's pretty much they're only there when they're convenient.
And right. And that's the thing. It's like, if you really love something, that's not the kind of relationship that you have with it. And the way I love the fandom, whether things are good or things are bad, I'm here and I'm here to stay. And, this is the hill that I want to die on, because for the simple fact that if anything happens, there's no other group of people that I can see myself being with or around than, you all and the people in the chat. And that's just where I'm at. So, if you love it and you respect it, you accept the bad with the good, and, you try to work things out and keep it rolling, because, the good always outweighs the bad. But when the bad happens, you got to learn how to accept it and, try to make the best out of it and keep it rolling, because shit, we can't stop, and we can't stop now. So, yeah.
Purple says fair weather fans, and I get what you're saying exactly. It's like when things get tough, people don't want to deal with the tribulations or the trials. But when things are great and everything's easy to go through and have fun and be happy, they're there sucking up as much as possible. They only want one type. They don't want the other type. But life doesn't work like that. You need to balance not only the negative and the positive, because that's where you find the centering line, because not everything's perfect. If everything's always good, you're just living in a glass chamber. You're not improving. You're not criticizing yourself, as well as using that to construct yourself. That's magically said.
Yeah, so that's, and then so I'm here and I'm here to stay, man. I ain't going nowhere. And as long as one person is willing to listen to what I have to say, I'll always keep this mic on and keep speaking my mind, and and at the same time, show everybody what's what it is to enjoy being in the fandom, because it's a great thing and great people. I'm happy to be here, and I'm having the time of my life, so I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Reina, you had a question? I know there's a delay, so I'll let you have the floor for a little bit.
I'm sorry, was that for me?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had a question, because I know there's a delay, so I was asking if you had anything to ask 24.
Sorry, I'm literally I'm on the freeway.
Oh, my bad.
I'm on the freeway looking around. Just commenting. It's great that you are, here to stay in the fandom, because there are too many people who just hang around the fandom when it's great, and when they think it's a lot of fun, and then when things start to not be so great, they leave. They're kind of like those bandwagons for certain sports teams,
Right.
Like they only want to be with the team when the team is winning, but they're not down with the team when, they're losing every other game and screwing up, and the coach sucks, and they've had to, get rid of one quarterback and get somebody else. And, You know,
Yep.
it's different. Like if you're in the fandom, you're there, to be there through the good times and the bad times. Now, if you've been there for I don't know how long, and let's say they screw up your fandom beyond all recognition, and you decide to leave, I can kind of give folks leeway with that. But yeah, it's not fandom isn't kind of something that you just drop into and drop out of
Mhm.
so
Right.
easily.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Makes sense.
But
Yeah.
glad you're out there. Glad you're out there, dude. Glad you're out
Thank
there,
you.
with your voice out there, and all of that. Looking forward to more stuff that you have coming down the pipe. So I would say another thing that's YouTube related.
Sure.
What would you say is the most challenging thing about YouTube when it comes to the fandom? I'll say YouTube in general and when it comes to the fandom.
YouTube. The thing I've noticed that's been difficult just with just YouTube itself is it's a few things. It's the way they're starting to change. They're restricting there's getting to a point where there's starting to be a lot of restricting of your content, what you can say, what you can't say. When I remember YouTube was built on being able to express yourself, and it looks like with more time that's passing, and I guess with they say with a lot of corporate entities being involved with YouTube with commercials and different things, and they want you to clean up your act now and don't say as many f bombs, and do this, and now you can't show that, and you can only certain news companies can report on stuff, but then when we talk about it, there's red flags. I mean,
Hmm.
it's all that
Right.
along with the algorithm and notifications and all the things that people commonly talk about. I don't really see YouTube really trying their best to fix that. Have all the money in the world to do all kind of things, and the one thing that got them where they're at, they don't put as much into. It's kind of like with the comic book industry, like Marvel Studios sitting there making all these money and stories based off the comic books, but then Marvel Comics is
Hmm.
in the dumps. So the thing that actually fuels your business, you treat it like it's the worst thing that you own. And that's kind of it's the same thing. There's a lack of respect to what got you there. Like your baby. You're not treating your baby right.
Yeah.
And it's and we're the ones that pay for it on both ends. Whether it's the looking at it from the comic book industry and us as being the consumers, or looking at it through this YouTube thing that I just said, and us being the content creators, we catching it on the backside when they should be doing more to fix a lot of these common problems that we all complain about.
That that that's pretty much dead on. You nailed it. And before I jump in quickly, we have Jace with the 11 Norwegian kroner. I hope I said that right. And it is a rainbow. Thank you so much for that sticker and sticking with the
Thank
theme
you.
of what you were going to torture me next time. And with that, I'm going to give you this. Thank you very much for that, Jace. I will definitely punch you later. Um, but
No.
yeah, but 24, you nailed it. Like, I know your passion. You've been on the comic book roundtable. We've been doing this for almost a year now, and we've all met. We all met. Even Reina was there. We all met on the DC fandom, the first one.
Right.
And you have a passion for not only comic books, pop culture, and like the history stuff, like the good stuff before it started becoming mainstream crap.
Right.
You have this ability to not only snipe comic books at a good price, you have the ability to snipe autographs and other things, and you keep them pristine. Like you told me, you have boxes of stuff you haven't even opened yet, and they're like just sitting there going, touch me, touch me, and you won't do it. You've even helped Mads out. You've helped me out with that Deadpool. There was just fantastic. You not only have a big heart when it comes to collectibles and pop culture and stuff. You try to share it with other people when that you see the love they have for it too. So
Right.
you are definitely one of those people that care about everyone as well as maintaining the back issue.
Well, thank you, man. That's man, give me too much credit, man. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. That means a lot coming from you, man. That the thing is, growing up, I'm just gonna be completely honest. Growing up, I grew up poor, grew up on welfare, didn't have a lot of money. Born in New Jersey, raised in the South Bronx, partially, and then I was partially raised in a spot outside of Houston called Missouri City. And that was a little later on. But living in the South Bronx, growing up, and just I lived on the street called East 156th Street by Sherman and Sheridan, across from the by the Grand Concourse. It was across from the original Yankee Stadium. Was where I lived. So growing up and being in New York, I've seen a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, and like I said this the other day, it was like I grew up and I had like real bad asthma. So, but thank God I don't have that anymore. But I had real bad asthma and I couldn't go out and I couldn't play a lot. So I had to sit home while all the kids were out, and I would watch stuff that a lot of people didn't get a chance to see growing up because I was at home during certain times watching a lot of things. So it's like, it's funny because I would ask old friends, hey, you remember this? And they don't remember it, but I do because I was at home watching it. But of course they were at school, so they couldn't catch it. And I ended up seeing a lot of different things and ended up enjoying having a passion for television and movies and cartoons and toys and being a kid, and then growing up and still enjoying those things and collecting comic books, and it just grew and grew. And then by the time I was in my my early 20s, I was a manager at Blockbuster, and when Blockbuster was around, and it was fun. It was a good time. And from there, that's when I really was able to get the love for the movies and understand them, and because it was everywhere I go, it was movies all over the place, rentals, and that's all you dealt with. And then from there, it was like I started collecting, and especially like with movies, 'cause I was already collecting comic books and everything else. So that's when the movies started becoming a big thing. And it's like it's something that just never stopped, and it was always trying to find bigger and better deals when it came to like movies and comic books, because physical media is a thing that people are really taking lightly. Because I'm always preaching that if you can buy, get what you can, because you can't leave it up to these companies that a lot of people are subscribed to, like HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon, Apple TV Plus, you name it, Paramount Plus. You got all the, they own all the properties, that are out on DVD, and sometimes you would expect to watch a lot of the stuff that you love on their on their streaming services. And the thing is uh, they're starting to cut certain scenes out, and basically what you grew up watching is going to be butchered. Either watching it or you just won't show it at all because something about it is too toxic or whatever. And that's why I had a big spew on my channel yesterday talking about Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Dukes of Hazzard always been a good family show. You can watch it. It never, nothing racist, nothing negative ever came from not that I've ever seen, and nothing that I've talked to people and family watching the show. No one's never had something bad come, a feeling or, oh, they disrespected me, nothing. But then when it comes to the Confederate flag, then boom, here goes a witch hunt for the Dukes of Hazzard. Now you can't find that being shown anywhere. And I heard last night that I think they show it on Amazon. And I didn't know that. So, but then I'm not sure if that's true or not. I didn't even bother. I heard about it and I was like, okay. So I think they might be showing it on Amazon, but a lot of the local, not local, yeah, even local TV or a lot of the streaming services won't even touch it. And boom, here at 2021, we lost Dukes of Hazzard.
No.
So how do we keep on with watching the shows and enjoying the movies and all the other stuff? You got to buy it.
That's true.
It's going for cheap. It's going for cheap online. Get you the whole collection, and that way, they can't take that away from you because you know better. And that's some of the things that I'm starting to see, and it's hard. That's why physical media is important, because if you leave it up to them to show it to you, they'll either butcher it up and show you their clean cut of it or whatever, or they just won't show it at all, and you'll never see it ever again. So now, if you can own it, get it.
Now, before we get back into that, because you do make a lot of sense, and physical media is where it is because it can't be changed, it can't be updated like a computer software or even like a media file. So you nail the point. Yeah, but Flash. Purple Valkyrie with the 5 pounds super sticker of the Good Job Fox or Shibu. I'm terrible with currencies. I thank you so much, love. And with that, I don't. You're gonna work. Thank you very much, lad.
No.
But I think everyone enjoyed DOH. The car was and still is a beauty. I agree, Kylock. I hope you're doing well today as well. Snowdub, welcome to the chat. I do see the buffet is currently being protected by the rest of my horrible movies, like Thinner Man and all that stuff. Zax, I see you as well. Justin Normie, hello, how are you? Beyond Time, a new face to see in the chat. But you make a lot of sense, because physical media, not only can you protect it, you don't have to worry about ever losing the original content that the people actually made it for. And that's the biggest thing. It's like we're getting Lawrence of Arabia and all of a sudden they're in dune buggies. Like, I don't remember this part. You make a lot of sense. And hello, Theme, I see you as well. But I gotta ask one question in general. Sure. 24 when it comes down. Why? Oh, actually, I had 2 things. The first thing is, for those wondering what Blockbuster Video is, that was a movie rental store. Also rented video games. You can get snacks. It was an actual store where you had to walk in, pay money for a membership, rent a movie or whatever, and then you walk out and had to return it. So for those that don't know, those things still existed.
Yeah.
Rip Blockbuster Video. The second thing is, you've been doing a lot of collecting over the years,
right?
What has been your not only your best catch, but your most prized possession of collectibles since you've been since you started collecting more? Wow. I'm sorry.
No, that's a. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. But
okay.
I'd say my Green Lantern, actually, my Green Lantern number 18, the 50th anniversary, is one of my reason why is because the actual creator of Green Lantern, Martin Nordell, autographed it, and he autographed it back in the early 90s. No. If that was 18, right around the late 90s, he autographed it. And, of course, he passed away about 16 years ago. So, but he created Green Lantern back in the 40s. So just to have something that he autographed from a guy that made something that's as iconic as Green Lantern, yeah, it's a hell of a thing that to own something that he autographed. So but I know he'd be rolling. He created Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. So I know he'd be rolling in his grave right now if he seen what they were doing to him in the Green Lantern books. But between that, my Teen Titans #1 autographed by George Perez. My Crisis on Infinite Earths #1 autographed by Marv Wolfman. Like my Cyber Frogs and everything, and I got a bunch of comics autographed by Ethan Van Sciver. I mean, those are awesome. Yeah, I think I have almost 10 autographs of Ethan Van Sciver's, on different comic books and different things. Anything from the Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth, Convergence. He autographed a lot of stuff, and I've seen it, and online. I was getting those things for cheap, so I was snatching them, and he's actually one of my most favorite artists. So I guess if people can tell, but yeah, it's between those and.
That's a lot of comics, and you don't know how to choose because you don't want to leave anything out. And I just kind of put you. It's like, we don't do track questions here, but I did a track question within itself of like, what's your favorite? You're a dick.
Yeah,
But but I kind of get that, and I'm kind of like a little jealous. Like my comic collection is so pitifully small, because I just had like a niche comics that I was interested in for a while, and just kind of went on to other things.
Right.
So when I run into somebody like you and like a lot of other YouTubers who are into comics,
right.
I get jealous when you start talking about how many long boxes you have. I'm like, what's a long box? I just have like a crate with my small stash of comics. And you guys will talk about all the long boxes you have, and which arc this was, and which arc, that was, and all of that. So I can understand it is hard to choose from, but for somebody like me who has like a small collection, like I wasn't really into DC comics, but I was into. Yeah, exactly. So it was like G.I. Joe, X-Men. That was pretty much my thing.
X-Men too. Okay, all right. That's good to know.
You shouldn't have told him that. Now he's gonna go on the internet later on.
But it was just cool like that. And what got me initially into collecting was the Star Wars series that Marvel did.
Oh, the original. Yeah, I remember those, yeah.
Yep. So I have like a #2, and then nothing until I think about issue 40 or issue 50 or something like that. But it's just I just get jealous of like how many comics you guys have and how you can keep track of all these different arcs and everything. So don't feel bad if you can't pick one. It's not a trick question. It's to find out more about what it is that you have, and and what it is that yet you like. Because for some people who they may they're probably like, hey, I want to check out the old school comic books, but I don't particularly know where to start. So when you guys start talking about your collection and what you like and what you don't like and what you remember, and especially the artist names, that sticks with people. It really does.
Well, it's like basically like when you watch your favorite movie and then you keep up with your favorite star or the person that directed it. That's just the same way with the comic books. It's the person who wrote the story and the person that drew it.
Well, speaking of that, though, I want to quickly just turn on the cam because my new addition to my collection arrived, and she is definitely beautiful. God, I love the Phoenix.
What is that?
That's the Phoenix.
Yeah, that's Phoenix. That's Jean Grey Phoenix.
That's the Bishoujo version, like the Evil Dead stuff they do. They do the variants, that is the one I got off Wish.
Oh wow,
that looks nice though.
That is nice. That is nice.
It is. I hope you're not dying. And that, yeah. I'm also gonna open this up to the chat as well. If you guys have any question for 24, because I know he has stuff in boxes, and I'm really gonna keep bugging him because I know he wants to show stuff that he hasn't opened yet. I'm gonna keep pressing
You
him.
have to show stuff on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Oh no.
got something right here. Let me see what this is. Like I
Oh,
said, this is stuff
we
that I
got-
bought months ago and never waited till one day I was gonna go live, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start busting all this stuff out whenever I go live, and I got so much of it. This is stuff that I've gotten for so cheap. You know, it's nothing, you know, outrageous things that, you know, spend $4 or $5 for. Because like right now at the comic book store, any brand new comic book right now at the comic book store is going for $5.99. So I'm finding comic books 40, 50 years old or even older for cheaper than that and in mint condition. So, you know, not all beat up, and it's
Well, while you open that, there's a quick thing from Beyond Time. You're too young for this, Lorena, but the first Marvel Star Wars series was great. The first 6 issues were the movie adaptation, and then it rolled into new adventures.
I got mine from I forget who the heck it was. Somebody, it was some comics collector, I think, like out in Arizona or something. And they had like all these Star Wars issues for the Marvel comic book. I'm like, I didn't even know that freaking existed. So I just sent him a check and got all those comic books. Yeah.
Now, before you show that comic 24, Purple has a question for you as well. Do you have a Grail piece that you are looking for as well? And then there's one more question after this.
Question.
Grail. Ooh, that's
like your Bigfoot, your missing link. There's something out there that like you want, as in, okay, we're past half an hour. That one piece that is literally labeled "blow that shit up." I keep asking trap questions. I feel so bad.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I had to get back to you on that one. That's really a tough one because.
All right. Okay. That's cool. Take some time. Zach7 has another question for you.
Sure.
What comics is he investing in right now? Specific issues or first appearances?
Good you say that. Glad that you asked that question. The things that I'm actually collecting, and this is not something that I'm picking up like in a lot, in any kind of specific lots where like 30 or 40 or maybe the whole collection. It's stuff that, sometimes to buy everything already, you don't have to go searching for no issues when everything's all intact. People can charge your arm and a leg for it. And sometimes I'll find it that it's cheaper when you buy it in bits and pieces. So basically right now what I'm trying to look for and put together is the first run of the Savage She-Hulk. The first time you ever see She-Hulk, She-Hulk #1 is what I'm trying to go after right now. And that's so basically She-Hulk #1 and Spider-Woman #1. The thing is, they would have went for maybe $50 for She-Hulk. Spider-Woman would have went for maybe 30. Now that She-Hulk's doing her show, Spider-Woman's up for a TV show or a movie coming up soon. Their stuff is skyrocketed. So now Spider-Woman's looking at $60, $70, and She-Hulk #1, the first appearance of She-Hulk, easily 120 to like $140 now, just to throw out one comic book. So it's like, fuck. Yeah, it's like, I like it. I would like to have it, but not to pay that much money for it like that.
So this is the She-Hulk you're talking about, right?
Well, not that's what it looks like now, but no.
And I know you really want to show us, but there's one more question because Kylock is very adamant and he's shown up a lot more.
What's that?
But what's your favorite kind of stories to read?
What I've enjoyed the most that I'm noticing is the stories from like the Just Body of America, basically your good old boys, like them, Captain America, Superman, the Boy Scouts, the ones that try to stick to their morals no matter how everything else is changing. They're trying to stick to doing the right thing, regardless of how the world's changing and everything around them is evolving. And it's hard to, so that's why sometimes it's hard to see Superman or Captain America, Captain America becoming a Yahtzee, or Superman being angry and fighting Batman and all this other stuff. That's not really Superman. That's Superman in the last 10 years, that he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's angry and all this other stuff, and that's the Superman without the red trunks.
Oh.
So if you look at Superman, the way he's drawn and done in the comic books from the New 52, that's the Henry Cavill Superman. There's a difference between the Henry Cavill Superman and the Christopher Reeve Superman. And what happened in the comic books eventually, and that's a story, end up finding out that there were actually two different Supermen at the same time.
Oh my God!
So yeah, I know it might be confusing, but the thing is that there were two different ones running at the same time. So you got the Henry Cavill Superman running around and he's battling, destroying stuff and not saving the people and all this other stuff. And then you have,
oh my God,
Christopher Reeve Superman, and they both exist at the same time.
One quick second, 24. Somehow we have two Lorenas.
I see that.
We have the variant Lorena from one timeline, and then we have the other Lorena from the pristine timeline. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too. But there is one thing before we get into that. You got to show these guys. You got to show these people in the chat the comic books. And hello, Snow Dub. I see you as well. I forgot to say hello earlier. Show that comic that you just opened up, because I know that people are dying to see that. Because I'm probably gonna hate you.
Let's see.
The first appearance of Stargirl. The first appearance of Stargirl.
Oh, shh.
Oh.
What year is that?
This has to be 99, July. That's why it says meet DC's newest star at the bottom. So it's a first appearance. You see next to her, the guy crouched down. That's Starman. You see what he has in his hand?
A stick?
Come on, if you think about Stargirl, the TV show, and look at what he has in his hand.
Yeah, the same staff.
That's the same staff because it was his before it became her.
Oh.
So this lets you know that when she first came out, she was known as the Star Spangled Kid. Mm-hmm. And then she ended up, that's why it's not called Stargirl and it's called Stars and Stripes, because she's picking up the tradition of being the Star Spangled Kid. But then Starman, the guy next to her, bent down. He ended up having a baby and he retired. So what he did was he gave the staff to her. And that's why in the show, they reworked how it actually happened, but that's how she ends up with the staff, because it was actually his before it was hers.
That's fantastic.
And he's the son of the original Starman from the Just Society of America.
No way.
Yeah, it's the original Starman that was first created from the 1930s, 40s, Just Society of America. This is his son. So basically, Starman's weapon from, that he had from the 1940s, that made him fly and shoot like star rays and all that stuff. They end up modifying it and turning it into like a staff-like thing, and that's what you see in his hand. And then when the son ended up having family and retired, he handed the staff off to Courtney Whitmore, and she ends up being, she changed her name to Stargirl at the point when she gets the staff.
She looks beautiful too.
Yeah, this is written by, of course, Jeff Johns. Yeah, so but that's what it is, and that's why you see him with the staff, instead of her. But this is the first appearance.
It's the first appearance, and also the hand-me-down of the legacy in the way too. That's why he's holding the staff, so you can actually see the connection. I get it. That's That's pretty cool. Purple Valkyrie. Do modern comics have the same collectors and investment value now, or is it best to go back to find gems? It's gems.
The second one, actually, because right now, I'll give you an example. Comic books that came out in the last year or two were your more famous. I'll give you an example. DC Comics were your Dark Knight, Death Metal comics. That's what's been a big run for the last year and a half, almost 2 years. And those comic books come out $4.99, $5.99, and that's what been coming out currently, and it's hot and people are scooping it up. Now, if you got it from the comic book store, of course you'd be paying cover price. But right now you can find them online for $2 or $3. So even the brand new comics, people will read them and turn around and sell them the next month. And it's you can't really you can't put no value, because it's, unless something major happened, someone dies, or a major character, or they get a new power, or something dramatically happens in the character's life, then maybe the comic book might go up in price. But there's not really no value in that. But right now, what it is there's a lot of value in the older comics. And the reason why I'm buying the older comics cheaper than the newer ones is just because of the times we're living in, man. It's the economy. People need money, and they're willing to sell their comic book collection, as far as even all kinds of physical media, DVDs, records, CDs, comic books, you name it. Everything is up for grabs. So basically, if there was a time right now, out of any time that I've ever seen, that anybody should be going and looking up stuff to buy, right now it's the cheapest that you'll ever get it. Right now.
Now, to quickly add with that, with the comic book roundtable, I know a few people here in the chat, as well as other people either watched it live or watched the replays. We've actually started going over this week in comics with the way it's been today and the last few months. And it's getting to the point now that not even a cover will sell a book, and they're becoming worse. And this is related to the next question brought by Purple Valkyrie. Did the oversaturation of variant covers also have an effect?
Yeah, actually, they do. They do, because the less variant covers it is, the more prestigious. Of course, the story is what's important. But then what it is when you have the variations of the covers that changes, or sometimes depreciates the value of the comic, because you can't just find it that one way. Now there's 2 or 3 ways to buy it, and that's the thing. When comic books are pressed, if there's a limited run of it without any kind of variations or whatever, once that however they press out to sell, once that sells and there's still a demand for it, that's when things go into second print and third print. But then even then, the second and the third prints aren't worth anything, and your original cover doesn't end up being too much, because the variants end up being more. So it's so basically the more options they give you to buy one comic book, the less value that one comic book is. Because it's basically how many times are they going to sell you a DVD? You buy it on Blu-ray, you get a DVD. Buy it on Blu-ray, you buy it on 4K. I heard 8K is coming. 8K is coming. How many times am I supposed to buy the same thing over and over? So
it's okay.
It's and that's when things start losing its value, because it's but then when you have something that you can only find it one way, and you can only buy it once, you can only buy it in one particular way, and there's only so many of them, then that's when, and it's sought after, that's when, of course, the value, it's It's kind of
It's like that. It's like that Boba Fett comic we saw a couple weeks ago, right?
right?
Where it had more variant covers than the actual pages in the book itself. It had 47. What was it? I think it was 47 pages, and there was about
outrageous. Was it?
No, there was 18 pages and 24 variant covers for a Boba Fett comic.
Yeah, unless you have something like this Heart of the Jedi,
that?
you know, you got something like the Heart of the Jedi that's a limited print, that a limited print, and is out of print and you can't find no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that's when you have something valuable. So it's kind of like, I know you heard about that Heart of the Jedi, that book that came out on May 4th, only for a little bit, and guess when Disney found out, they put the stop on it.
To buy it before it went out of stock, before they
that's
from Amazon.
I got one, and I still have it in the Amazon Prime bag. So, like, it's one of those deals. Yeah, when you have something like that, then that's when you have something special. But then when you have, let's say, if somebody can actually get that Heart of the Jedi, but with a different cover, and they start, it takes away the value of it, because now there's more out there than what it needs to be, and the more that it's in circulation, the more the less the more it loses its value, basically.
The other thing, I can kind of relate this with Funko, and I know a lot of people have their ifs and ups and downs with the Funko Pop collections. They relate it to like Beanie Babies and stuff like that. But if I'm going to go back to when I started collecting, which was around 2012, 2013, when Chase variants, like variant covers, were literally 1 in 36. And that means it was one giant case that would have one Chase in it. And that's where the value lied. But as it started becoming more mainstream, more popular, they started changing the variation number. So instead of 1 in 36, it would be a 1 in 6 variant. It'd be the same Chase, but the only thing that you could tell the difference would be the box from the year it was released. So even that, and even with Hot Wheels, the same thing. They have the Chase variants or certain variants that people are looking for. It starts diminishing the value because you're becoming an oversaturation, because of the demand the demand is there, but companies see the demand greater than it actually is, and you're taking away not only the significance of the value, but the significance of the rarity, and that in a way causes an implosion of collectibles, depending on how much oversaturation's been done.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that's.
What was that?
What?
Was that a Furby?
In my car outside.
But 24. I gotta ask you, then I'll let Reina ask a question. But do you have anything else you want to tease people? You're doing that right now. Okay. Okay. It's like Christmas. Look how happy he is. Look how happy he is. He's like, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's,
I know. But it's great. It's great. It's like it's so nice to see folks happy about what they have, and what they're passionate about. We have lots of things to complain about when it comes to the fandom, but we also have some things, to be happy about and enjoy as well.
Yeah. And that's the reason why Funko died for people. Also depended on where I worked, right? Because I'm related the same way. Where I worked, you weren't allowed to sell your collection. You weren't really allowed to do this or that. It was very restricted. But as soon as I think Funko hit Hot Topic, and even like this, like a GameStop or EB Games, depending on where you were, that's where people started relating it to the Beanie Babies thing. But the thing is, Beanie Babies is not as popular as Funko still is today. It still has that niche. Comic-Con collectible variations, especially. When Funko does their stuff at San Diego, when I missed watching, that's where the stuff is. Prototypes, thousands of dollars. The Clockwork Orange stuff that weren't actually originally licensed. There's about 24 of them out there. 12 chases, 12 originals. And the chase can go up to about, I think, 14,000 or 24,000 US.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know my Gamora Funko Pop is from the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. Just pop price guide and you can actually find it.
Which is freaking.
Yeah, you sounds like you might have a few dollars there with that.
It's out of the box, so I don't know.
Just
I have to
Justin
have them
Normie
all
says,
out there.
sorry about that, Reina, my bad. Justin Normie says, I did a video on Garbage
okay.
Pail Kids. Oh my God, I want to get into them. I didn't know they were still around. I still have the original pull
Hey,
stickers.
you know what's funny? HBO Max is working on a Garbage Pail Kids series right now.
They are.
Look it up, man.
Really?
Look it up. Yeah, just just
I
Google it real quick and.
Pail Kid cards somewhere.
Well, they had the movie that came out back in the 80s, so, and that was that was kind of like on the level of Howard the Duck back then. So it was one of those kind of movies.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're working on a series right now. Yeah, if they do it, yeah, it's gonna trigger some folks. Yeah, you guys look it up.
Now,
It's-
before you
it's gonna
drop that
trigger
cover,
folks.
I'm gonna drop this on people right now because secondary market is where Funko kicks ass, and right there is your proof: $13,400 for just the chase.
Holy sh!
What?
Yeah. If you think you have a Funko collection,
Wow.
I am not joking. Poppriceguide.com, all one word. You can put your whole collection there. You can track and watch the secondary sales. It tracks eBay sales. Like I was saying before, when I was still working for HT before they laid me off in November, I couldn't sell any of my stuff when I needed the money. But I scored this DVD Blu-ray set, which was a metallic Spider-Man that came with the Amazing Spider-Man DVD in there, right? I got two of them for $43.
Right.
I kept them for a few years
Wow.
and sold them both for about 980
Oh.
Canadian each.
Wow.
So
Okay.
people mock Funko sometimes, but if you've been collecting for quite a while, you're sitting on pretty much a gold mine. And I have a collection that's probably worth about 11,000 US.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm getting rid of them slowly and surely.
Yes.
But the other reason why I thank Funko, Funko was the reason why I got back into collecting comic books, because you would not only look for Funkos at the Comic Cons, you would then go into comic books like stalls and display areas and just go crazy with that.
Right.
And I thank Funko for that opportunity to get me back into the stuff I used to love as a kid. And yeah.
Mm.
If you have the metallic Doctor Doom purple, you're sitting on a couple hundred. I'm gonna remove that, and you can now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is see, this is Lobo, Un-American Gladiator, #1 from the early 90s. If anybody's a Lobo fan,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he still look masculine?
Yeah, and this is it's called Un-American Gladiator. So back then, that's when the show was American Gladiator was big. So it's him in the middle of some shit of stuff like that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hold on, let me blow you up, bro. Let me blow you up. There you go.
Yeah.
That needs to be bagged and boarded. I'm kind of insulted right now.
Yeah, it does. It does, but but the dude packaged it well, so I'm not.
Kyluk has a question related to this quickly. Is there a reason why Lobo calls himself the main man?
Because this is why he calls himself the main man. Look at this, man. Blow this up.
Oh.
Blow that shit up, man.
Oh, goddamn.
You see what
muscles.
he's done? You see what he's done?
Yeah. Oh my God, really?
That's why he's the main man. Now, if you're talking about toxic, yeah, that's over 20 of them. He done put the smackdown on. That boy there is raw. That's why I'm collecting him. Yeah, he just look at that, man.
I'm laughing at purple.
That is awesome,
dude. That's they all sleep like they didn't have a good time. Hey, that's why. Oh man, and the thing is, I got his first appearance. Back in the '80s, and he's another one that I'm collecting right now. And I had to think. I started collecting them maybe about a month or two ago, and I had to sit there and look at comic books that are out right now. There's not really a prolific, like a real wild, outstanding character out right now. Excuse me. And I thought about back in the 90s when my brother used to collect, he used to collect Lobo, and I read a few of them. And I thought about that particular time that I was reading them. And I said, you know what? Out of everything that's going on right now, the wildest dude in comic books has to be Lobo. Why? Because he's a galactic bounty hunter. He travels through space on a motorcycle, on a space motorcycle with no wheels. It just flies. So he's on so he's sitting there like this, and he got this long hair, and he has like a biker jacket. He has chains wrapped around. He has guns. He got long hair. He's smoking a cigar, and he goes in the bars. He gets drunk. He has fun with all the women, beats up all the guys, and then goes chasing his next bounty. And he loves fighting Superman. Like, he'll go toe to toe with Superman. So he's not afraid of dealing with that, but he's kind of like an anti-hero that likes fighting Superman and sometimes beating up on some of the good guys. Then on top of that, he's so crazy that he blew up his own planet and killed everybody on it just so he can be the last one left of his own kind. So you put all that together with him being as buck wild as he is. It's like he's actually one of the rawest characters with a comic book. He has like over 15 to 20 one shots. He has a bunchload of miniseries and maxi series. He has his ongoing limited series that he had back in the early 90s, and all that stuff is him killing and doing all this stuff and having fun with the women and drinking, and it's like basically he's like this.
He's the perfect example of a toxic male that is so full of ego. He doesn't care who he disrupts or destroys across the universe as long as he maintains the title main man. And main man is set by his prerogative.
Like that. And it's hard to kind of because I have I bet you I might find a couple more once I start opening this stuff up. But yeah, that's wow. And just the fact that all this was painted, it's a beautiful cover. It's only and that's a one shot. That was
wow.
Now, I'm gonna quickly cut in quickly. Lorena, you have to go, correct? Because you have stuff to do on your vacation, and you've given us enough time, and I appreciate you dropping in. Thank you. Do they know where they can find you? I don't know.
I don't know, but I heard I might have a YouTube channel.
You have a YouTube channel?
You guys can check out, of course.
And that is in the description.
I know that thing I got peer pressured into.
Yeah.
And of course, you can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram. So I apologize for my audio issues. I'm so sorry about that. But this was awesome. So awesome to get to meet you again, 24/7 Fusion.
Oh, it's awesome.
We are going to have to have you on our next show and tell show.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to it. Yeah, thank you for having me. And I look forward to catching up with you. And please don't forget about the P.O. box.
Or just send it to me, and I'll pretend they never got it.
I already got something to send to you.
I know.
Oh, thanks so much, folks. Please do make sure you hit that like button on the live stream, and make sure you're subscribed to everyone. Even if you think you are, go back and check, because YouTube is unsubscribing people. So double check. Make sure you're subscribed.
Thank you, Lorena. And go enjoy your vacation.
Take care. I'll talk to you. Bye.
All All right, take care. Be
Bye.
I
safe.
will.
All right.
Bye.
Now,
Bye-bye.
bye. We're not going to close out just yet. I want to make sure the chat, if they have any questions
go
for
ahead.
24, and I wonder if I keep feel like I'm peer pressuring 24 to open stuff you want to keep in boxes. As Snowed Up says, tuck and roll, Reina with the crazy eyes. But yeah. Do you have one more thing you want to show, or would you like to just shoot the shit, as you would say, since you've been trying not to say it so much? Because I've had a blast so far.
Yeah, actually, I do.
I'm probably, but like, oh wow, I can't wait. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to set up a Funko stream eventually. There is one thing I want to show, and this is gonna be a shout out for those that watch the morning streams with gaming. You guys all know, like we do the Fortnite yelling at friends stuff, but a friend, as well as like pretty much one of the ones that have been there since it started, decided to send me something, and it arrived yesterday. I wanted to keep it kind of a secret.
Sure.
And they are real. They do exist, ladies and gentlemen.
What's this?
It is the Gary Busey Aunt May figure.
Whoa.
And when I say, hold on, I'm going to put this down there so I don't dox myself. When I say Gary Busey Aunt May, I mean Gary Busey Aunt May.
It's the reflection from the plastic is hard to see the face.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a little better. Wow.
That is one creepy goddamn doll. And I love it.
That's some funny shit.
And with that, I see I see T-shirt historian has popped in the chat. How are you doing today? I know you've been
historian. What's going on?
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn off that camera, and then I'm gonna like blur out the whole part of this video if my face was in a reflection, because it'll scare people. And you got one more thing before we close out the show. If anyone has any questions for the 24 himself, let us know. This has been fun. If it's porn, I'm gonna laugh. Oh my god, it's a whole stack.
Yeah, it's let me see what this is, man. I have no clue.
Yeah, well, a big shout out to Explorer of the Multiverse that for sending me that, because I can torture people with it to death. It's not sexy at all, Zax. It's literally the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life, and it's an official Marvel toy.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's the midget stuff. Norman.
This is
something big.
You know that wow. You know that Stargirl.
Yeah.
This gentleman with the
Starman.
Yeah, Starman. Yeah, this is a couple of his books from before he retired. So this is the covers look wow. This is him and Adam Strange.
Oh shit. That is amazing.
Yes, yeah, dude. Every cover, like basically, the more that's this run the Starman kept going, the covers started getting better and better. Like somebody someone was painting these covers.
Yeah.
And man, these are beautiful, man. I'm just like, wow. Look at
You've never looked at these yet, have you?
No, I just opened this up. I never.
Oh, you guys get a first reveal with the. Oh wow.
Yeah, if you look at the detail in it, man, they're beautiful. They get some kind of gunslinger in there. I wonder what time passed.
No, the question I think I want to ask is, maybe even the chat has the same question. Do you actually read any of the ones that you actually get, or do you just like stare at them and try to find ones that are of a lesser quality so you can read them without damaging the pristines?
Well, to be honest, I actually I read them, but the thing is, before I do read them, I make sure that I'm able to read them. Basically, I don't pick up. Let's say if I'm collecting and I just get like the.
Sorry, man. I was literally trying to switch brands. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good, man. Yo, dude, you just threw me off with this. But yeah,
It's
man,
okay.
it's like basically what it is. It's like when I collect, if I got random issues, I don't pick them up and read them. I wait till I got issue number 1, and I go in chronological order. I don't want to pick up like at issue 50 and then read issue 23 and then read issue 4 and then read issue 70. I need to go right through it. So I'd rather collect it all, have the complete run, and then start reading, pick up number 1 and go all the way through it. That way I don't have to stop and wait till I pick up or find another issue somewhere in order for me to finish reading my story. It'll already be all put together. All I got to do is just read it.
That's great. So you actually go for the full collection before you actually read the collection.
Yeah,
So
right.
you have everything.
Yeah, because I don't want to be reading it in bits and pieces. I want to go all the way through. So if it's not complete, then I'm missing something, and especially if it's a story that I'm enjoying while I'm reading, then I'm just stuck until I order the issue or I find it or whatever. So I'd rather just wait and be like, you know what? I'll wait till I just collect them all and then put it all together and then just read it in one go. I don't know. It's just easier for me. That way I don't got to skip around storylines and different things like that. I can just keep on track and understand what's going on with the character throughout his whole run.
Well, that makes sense though, 20 works. I think that's the perfect way to do it, because last thing you want to do is pick up an issue, read it, and it spoils what the hell happened, or like you walk in on a death or a reveal, and it's like, how did this all get here? Not only you have to go backwards, you then have to go forward. So no one likes starting in the middle unless it's a piece of cake or ice cream.
Right.
Hey, memes, how you doing, brother? Well, I like cheesecake and ice cream.
No, you're good. That was good. That was a good one.
This stream was brought to you by diabetes. If you haven't had enough sugar today, try some more to now. You got to do it.
And then this is one of the Starmen right here. This is another. Back in 1988, there was a run of Starman. So he's actually the third Starman. And this is what he looked like. So basically, all the different Starmen from all the different. There were more than one Starman. You had the original one from Just Side of America. Then you
Oh no! What happened? I think Starman got him. So with that, I will find some cheesy elevator music while we wait for 24 to return. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Yeah, he is literally frozen on my screen, and I think when Macney said smash that like button, it smashed his internet instead. Oh no! All right, wait, he's come back. There he is. He's back. He's back. Frozen in time. He got varianted by the TBA. Oh,
so
shit.
This is another Starman. This is a Starman from the 70s.
Yeah.
And this is Starman from the 80s. And then the gentleman that I've been showing you with the staff that he gave it to Stargirl, he was a Starman in the 90s. But in what he did was he got a story that connected all the Starmen together. See, that's why these covers actually go together.
Oh shit! I just noticed that. So
yeah. So basically, when you put them all together, you can see all the Starmen, all the people that ever been Starmen. They're all a part of this cover. You put them all together, so everybody that held the Starman name got all put into this, into the storyline, and so it basically pays homage and everybody that held the title, and they all had different. Like none of them were really connected. Like they were just Starmen, one here, one there. This one has powers that are different than the other, and they had a storyline that connected all of them to make them, part of like the Starman family.
Yeah,
and this is a storyline that connected all of them from all the different, all the like even the father, the original one. He's a part of that whole cover. So it's all it's some good stuff, man. It's yeah, they got some beautiful covers, man. They're all painted. Like this here, this is another Starman.
Is that the 80s? Is that the 80s? Yeah, that's the 80s one, right?
No, this one he also came out in the 70s also.
Oh damn.
And I think the early 80s he had some comic books. because he was actually in Adventure Comics. Like he had a run, like it would, like the comic book would be this Starman and Plastic Man would be the stars of some of the Adventure Comics run, and I have some of those comic books downstairs. So, like I said, and this is a part of that whole montage. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then this here is the other Starman, and this is at the bottom. Like you can see, like he's in between the legs or whatever.
Oh my. Okay, I got a question now. Who is the dude that they're all in front of? The one with the galaxy body.
He's another Starman. He's a Starman that he's he like this is his face right here. As you can see. Like this is his.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you can see his face, and he's Starman also.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so basically this is a story that connects all the Starmen, you know, all together for something. And I still can't read it because I got to go all the way back to like issue 0 and just kind of go all the way through, man. And I'm trying to bits, you know, and this is a part of what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 comic books that actually help kind of fill in the gaps of what I'm missing for that run. So Starman is another because from Starman leads into Stargirl. So that's like it's a part of that whole, it's a part of the history. And then plus it all ties into the Just Society of America. And you already know how I feel about that. So it's a part of that whole world, man.
That is awesome, man. Thank you for sharing those. But we are going to have to wrap up. But I think you're going to get a lot more people probably want to hear you talk about comics. We're going to get you on for one of the shows, man. And thank you for your time. You can find his link in the description below. Or if you actually hold your ear up to the sky, once in a while you can hear across the clouds, blow that shit up. And you know that's 24/7 on the comic book roundtable during the male gaze. And with that, man, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to my chat. I want to say thank you to the mods being here. The super chats, the super stickers. Thank you so much. Especially, most of all, thank you to Lorena, my boss, who's on vacay and literally gave some time to drop in. This is going to be the end of the show. This is going to be a fantastic day. And remember, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Peace out. Have a great day. And remember, one day I will look like this. Ciao, guys. Peace. And as soon as I find my outro video, there we go.